When I was coming from home this morning, my daughter asked me, Dad, what's the subject? What are you speaking about? I said, celebrating failure. He said, Dad, you're really growing old. Are you daft? Who celebrates failure? I only celebrate successes. I said, yes. Everybody celebrates success. But I think it's now the time. We need to change. We need to celebrate failure because fail more times than we succeed. And everybody celebrates success. I think at the end of this talk, I hope some of you will start celebrating failure. I remember about 20 years back, top heroes in Bollywood celebrated his failure. He went bankrupt. And do you know what he did? He had only 5 lakhs left in the bank. He went and bought an Omega watch. And he went completely bankrupt. So he said, if in for this, completely go, let's finish it. And now he wears 2 watches. You know who I'm talking about. So why am I focusing on failure? It comes even from me. I have failed twice. This is like, Indians don't want to talk about failure. Definitely not about themselves. They do like to talk about somebody else's. But I've failed twice in my life. And that's a great learning. That's the best education. After that, whenever I did work, it succeeded. And now I'm a fairly successful businessman. So go ahead and fail. And I especially want to address the college students here that don't worry. You are going to live to be 100. At your age, in your 20s, you're sure to live to be 100. So go out, aim to fail. Your first venture, hope that it fails soon. And then you have a whole life in front of you to succeed. The failure makes you the extraordinary from the ordinary. A regular successful businessman is an ordinary businessman. Makes him extra. It's a failure. The next time round, you are an extraordinary businessman. You know what you've done wrong in the past. You know where you stumbled. Like babies. They don't just get up and start running. They stumble a few times before they can get to walk. Their mother's finger and they walk. Go and do it. We all know there are 2 sides to the coin. One is heads, And I always said when I flipped a coin, I always said heads. But 90% of the time it turned tails. One small thing when I'm standing here, I want to convey what I'm feeling like. I'm feeling like Sita. It feels like a Lakshman Rekha. This circle. I just can't go out anywhere from this, but I'm happy to be here. So 2 sides of the same coin. We must understand that the other side has far more variety. All coins have some head on one side. The other side talks of so many other things. Look at the coins in your pocket. The other side. So failure is the other side. It takes you around the world. It shows you so many different views. It shows you how people are, what they were, and what they did to you. Also, I sometimes refer to the gym analogy. Failures. What makes you build muscles? When you go to the gym, you don't just swing your hands and get muscles. You use weights. There is resistance. And that's what builds the muscles. That's what failure is. It gives you resistance in your life, going forward in your business. Now this is, in my opinion, the best 4-letter word for a startup to understand. For a student, it's fail. But first ambition in life should be to fail. It's a 4-letter word, I'll just repeat it. I want to go through a few failure CVs or rejection letters. So Albert Einstein, I'll just produce a letter here that he got when he started off. He was rejected. There's an old letter. I found it somewhere in my junk. But actually, it's not the truth. Somebody just put it up on the net. But this is a true letter for Madonna. She was rejected several times before she actually became what she did. And now this is a biography, the biodata. This is an application form. This is a CV of a guy who has done what is called the failure CV. Is what I'm saying. Failure CVs. Now, in the West and many places around the world, people who apply for jobs have stopped writing what they did. They're writing in their CVs what they couldn't, what they failed at, how many times they got rejected. Because the large corporations now have understood that instead of having just an employee, have an entrepreneur in residence. Somebody who has been there, done that, failed. He will know a lot more than a simple employee. Some more examples here. Stephen King, his first book was rejected about 35 times. Once it got published, it was such a success, such a stupendous success, that he went on to write about 50 more books. He sold a few millions of copies and still going strong. Walt Disney, he entered business. His first venture, Laugh-O-Gram, failed completely. He did that in Paris. He moved away to Hollywood. There he struggled. He did. I mean, it was not overnight success, but in 15 years or so, he got his first hit. That was Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. And that's what set him on his way. Kentucky Fried Chicken, Colonel Sanders, the best story. He kept on doing work. He even went to the army, was kicked out because of his failings there. He kept on failing till he was 65. At a time when everybody has retired, gone to the farm, he then set up Kentucky Fried Chicken. And we all know what it is. I want to briefly touch upon startups. This is the buzzword now. And I'm happy that I'm here among students who are probably going to get into startup situation. 90% startups fail. So it is again the same topic. They all 90% fail, not because the idea is not good, not because they don't know how to work. It's because they don't know what business is all about. They don't know that it's more than just the idea. You have a business to run. So it's always good, and I recommend and I hope that you guys, when you do your first startup, fail as soon as you can. Stigma is something I just want to, I've been, when you fail, and especially in a country like India, where you're surrounded by friends, you know, there's a whole ecosystem here, you immediately become the pariah, you get stigma. And I've been through this too. When you have failed, but now you have to understand and you must take it in your mind that stigma is an old theory. It no longer applies. If you feel that in your, just forget it. In fact, I failed twice. I may repeat that. It was so bad. Called me. Has come. What do? I have no cash at home. I told her I have no cash in the office either. So if you go down that deep, you're only bound to succeed after that. I repeat, it's time to celebrate failure. Please come up, go ahead and celebrate it. Thank you.